Pain, it comes with each breaking day, an endless cycle for me here in the Dark Moon Pack. My stepfather, Alpha Felix, he is the head alpha of the Dark Moon Pack, which means his word is law. I fear him more than anything. He is all powerful in my eyes. He is the one who controls my life ultimately, not me. He only allows me a small room in the basement of the house. I try to sleep curled up in the thin holy blanket. That is my bed. I can't complain because complaining means being beaten even more than I already am. As the Omega runt of the pack, I seem to get into more trouble than anyone else, and it usually ends up in punishment from Alpha Felix. Alpha Felix says he doesn't want to buy school supplies for me, so I don't go to high school with other kids despite being 17. He never feeds me. I have to steal scraps if I want to eat because I'll be beaten if he notices anything missing from the fridge. Alpha Felix is all I have, my legal guardian now that my parents are gone. Today I'm alone in the house, cleaning as usual. I can barely keep my eyes open, so tired after having not been able to sleep all night from the nightmares. I greedily eye the big nice bed that Alpha Felix sleeps in. This is his room after all. Alright, just a quick rest, I decide. I don't know how long I sleep, but soon I'm roughly awakened. I'm yanked off the bed by my hair and thrown to the floor. Stupid runt, do you think I let you stay in my home so you can sleep in my bed? Alpha Felix growls at me, eyes brighten with anger. I already feel to tear up. I hate that I cry so easily. I'm sorry, Alpha Felix. You'll be sorry after I'm done with you. I'm going to kill you, the man said, pulling a shiny knife out of his pocket. He pressed it on my throat, and if he applies any more pressure, the knife will cut my skin. Should have done this a long time ago. When I see the murderous look in his eyes, I can tell he's serious. In one last attempt to get away, I grab a clay vase and smash the vase against Alpha Felix's head. He let go of me, knife dropping to the ground, blood running down his temple. Little, he curses at me when I stand in shock at what I have done, looking down at my trembling hands. The blow isn't enough to stop him for long. The Alpha is already getting up and staggering towards me. I go for the doorknob, pulling the door open and dashing out. Tears stream down my face. The cool air of the night blasts against my face as I run out into the grass towards the dark forest that looms ahead. I feel my bones crack, shifting into my wolf, and my paws meet the dirt. My fur is ash white, so I'm pretty easy to spot by predators, and my wolf is also a smaller size. I watch the male wolf stalk through the woods. I don't dare move, keeping my breathing quiet as I try not to make a sound. I'm hidden behind a thick bush. There's no doubt he's an alpha by his large build frame, a body designed to kill. I gulp in fear as I realize he is more than double my size. His fur is a dark brown, nearly black, and it's hard to keep my eyes trained on him as he moves, blending in with the shadows of the trees. I had been running on adrenaline the entire night. Now I have no idea where I am, and I'm so tired to stay awake. I watch in horror as he sniffs the air. He can smell my unfamiliar scent. My fear, alphas always can. And then I feel it. Something is watching me. I look up and I find myself staring into glowing amber eyes, so intense and threatening in their nature that I lose my breath. He found me. The wolf doesn't attack. He just stares at me, almost looking curious. I watch as he transforms into his human figure before me. You shouldn't be here, he says, voice deep as he addresses me. I don't respond. I can't respond really. I'm still in wolfy mode and I'm too embarrassed to transform in front of him. Do you know where you are? He asks. This is Shadowpack territory, little wolf. Shadowpack? There's where I am? I try not to let the shock on my face show at his words. Because if this alpha figures out I'm from Dark Moon, the enemy, He'll probably kill me on the spot. What pack are you from? The Alpha asks the dreaded question, and I know I have to lie. I have to have an answer. I'm a rogue, and being a rogue at this moment doesn't seem all that bad. The talking caused a throbbing pain in my head. I sink towards the ground as I whine in pain. I take shallow breaths trying to see what the man is doing as I lie against the dirt. I can't see properly. It's blurry and I don't know what's happening until I felt strong arms around me, picking me up off the hard ground. I am being carried then against a firm chest as I try to stay conscious, but it's impossible. When I open my eyes, I'm lying in a white room. It looks similar to hospitals. A nurse walks to the room. "How are you feeling, honey?" she asks. "I'm fine. Where am I?" I ask. "You're in the local hospital of the Shadow Pack. Taehyung found you out in the forest and brought you here." So Taehyung is his name. Honestly, I think it fits him. All serious like he is. The nurse has a nervous look on her face. "Listen, the head alpha Namjoon is going to be here soon. I had to tell him about the pack mark on your back." My heart drops. She's talking about the tattoo, a symbol that shows that I belong to the Darkmoon pack. The door swings open then as a tall alpha steps through, and accompanied by him is none other than Taehyung. I gulp down in fear at the hateful stare Taehyung gives me. He definitely knows I lied to him by now, evident by how he looks at me. "Hello, Omega. I can't say it's a pleasure to have you here," the head alpha Namjoon says. Alpha Namjoon? He has suffered a head injury in addition to being severely dehydrated and malnutritioned, the nurse said. "And why are we wasting valuable medical supplies on some Darkmoon trash?" Taehyung spoke with venom in his tone. I felt so heartbroken at Taehyung's words. The nurse seems scared too, but manages to speak out. "He's just a boy, and from the looks of it, he's been wandering out alone in the forest for many days. Now tell me the truth. What's your name?" Namjoon questions. "John Jungkook." "Did Darkmoon send you here?" "No." I shake my head, an answer that really seems to piss Taehyung off. "That's not true," he snarls. "You lied to me and said that you were a rogue. You're obviously some spy Darkmoon sent." "That's really not it. I swear." I try to defend myself from the accusations. "I ran away. I just wanted to leave that place. I really didn't mean to come here. I was planning to go somewhere else, but then I fell and hit my head. So I got all confused and just ended up here. It really was an accident. Do you understand that now that you're here, we can't let you leave so easily? This is a major breach of our pack security and we can't risk letting you go on the chance you'll return to Darkmoon." Namjoon spoke. "But I'm not gonna go back. You can just dump me somewhere far away from Darkmoon. If you're worried I'll go back," I reply. "Let me rephrase this, Omega. You will stay here. It's in my best interest to keep you under surveillance," Namjoon spoke. "Do you mean I'll stay here as a hostage?" Namjoon sighs. "No, what kind of alpha would I be if I locked up an Omega who doesn't even look like he had his first heat?" I flush at that. It's true that I haven't had my first heat yet. It usually comes any time around 16 and 17 years of age, but I still haven't gotten it and I'm nearly 18. You'll exist here like any other citizen. I'm gonna put you in a school and you'll live with me. That's definitely the last thing I was expecting, an offer from my enemy pack's leader. And Taehyung doesn't like it, not at all. After I talk with Namjoon some more, admitting I have no parents, he shows me where I'll be staying, his large Spanish-style house. I'm expecting him to lead me to a basement, so I'm not prepared when Namjoon shows me a room and tells me I'll be staying there. An actual room. "This is Taehyung's old room," Namjoon says. "Alpha Namjoon? He's gonna be really mad if he finds out." The older man shrugs. He's the one who decided to move to the pack house instead of staying here with his dear old dad. I woke up the next day better rested than I have ever been in years. Namjoon says I can wear whatever I find in the room. I then pad down the stairs, getting a little lost by the sweet smell of syrup and frying meat guides me to the kitchen. Good morning, I greet Namjoon, who is at the stove frying bacon and eggs in a pan. Why is the Omega wearing my shirt? A deep familiar voice comes from behind me, making me flinch in surprise. I turn around to see Taehyung standing in the doorway, arms crossed, as we lock eyes. Oh God, this is his shirt? As Taehyung continues to stare at me in distaste, I want to shrink into the ground out of embarrassment. Ah, Tae, why don't you eat with us first then? Namjoon says, motioning to the table. No thanks. That boy can't even have breakfast with his dad anymore? What are you standing there for? Your plate's here. Namjoon points to a lavish dish piled high with pancakes, toast, bacon, eggs, and a couple of fruits. My eyes widen at the copious amount of food. That's for me? That can't be right. I look at the plate in confusion as I go to sit down. Why not? I cooked it for you. Namjoon smiles at me. Thank you. Namjoon makes good on his promise to put me in school. I'm actually really excited about it. On Monday morning, I wake up early and get ready for school. I walk down the stairs and there he stands, Taehyung leaning against the wall. I don't mean to hold his stare, but it feels almost impossible to look away, like I'm hypnotized. It might have kept on going if I didn't trip on the last step, sending myself stumbling forward and into Taehyung's firm chest. With lightning quick reflex, the alpha catches me, large hands grabbing my thin shoulders to set me right again. Careful, Omega, he says quick and stern as he let me go. I feel almost disappointed when the contact ends. Sorry, I mumble awkwardly looking at my shoes. Ah, Taehyung, glad you're here. You'll be taking him to school from now on. Namjoon spoke. You called me here for that? He can't drive himself? Why the hell do I have to look after some Dark Moon Omega? Taehyung? Namjoon gives him a stern glare. You will drive him. End of discussion. Namjoon turns to me, ruffling my hair in encouragement. Have a good day at school, but don't let Tae spoil your mood. The first part of the car ride is silent. I can walk if you want. You'll be late then, Taehyung replies. I just don't want to trouble you. You know what? Taehyung cuts me off abruptly. You can quit it with a nice knave act, Omega. Why the hell did Dark Moon send you, huh? Did you put my dad under some spell so he'll let Dark Moon take over? What? No, I would never do anything like that. You have no idea what I came from. I'll never go back there. Why? Why do you hate me so much? What did I even do to you? Sure, my pack is your enemy. But I have never done anything to you for being so mean. Taehyung looks taken aback by my statement. My first day of school was completely ruined by him. I feel terrible for shouting at him. But he deserves it for being so rude to me. The room is dark, so dark it's suffocating. I'm lying on the cold cement floor, weakly breathing and stomach growling. I have been locked down here in the basement for more than a day, only given a bottle of water, so I won't die. I wanted to drink some water, but if I drink more, the need to pee will only get worse. 30 minutes later, I can't take anymore. I'm so thirsty. Just a sip. Only one sip. Warm liquid starts streaming down my legs without any warning. Just then, I hear the heavy footsteps of my stepfather approaching the door. You disgusting mutt! You pissed yourself? He growls, pulling out a knife. I cry at the sight of the blade. I recoil, remembering how it cuts into my skin and makes me bleed everywhere. I am painting a picture, runt, he grunts. I wake up, screaming and sobbing. Help! Help! I cry. Then the lights click on and then he's gripping my shoulders, holding me down. Cook, tell me what's wrong. Hey, there's no need to worry, okay? Everything's okay. Namjoon tries to comfort me. I only cry more at that because no, not everything is okay. In fact, nothing is okay. Namjoon seems to realize he has only added fuel to the flame. Do you need a hug? Would that be alright? I can only shake my head. I don't want anyone touching me right now. I feel guilty as I peek at the sorrowful look on his face, knowing I'm making it difficult for him. I just want to close my eyes, hide myself from the world, and try to forget the horrible nightmare. But it wasn't just a nightmare, it was a flashback. I would only be 13 at the time. I am jolted awake by the sound of a car in the early morning. It's Taehyung. He is walking up to the house. His face looks serious, like something is wrong. Taehyung? Namjoon asked, confused. Why are you here? Did you forget it's a weekend? You don't need to take Cook to school. I'm not here for that, Tae replies. Then what is it? Silence. Why is he hesitating to answer? Look, I think it's better if you go, Namjoon says. Cook, he's not well right now. What do you mean he's not well? Tae immediately asks. It's hard to explain. I don't really know what it's about either. Tell me what happened, Taehyung demands. Tae, you don't seem to care for the boy, so why does it matter? He snaps. Taehyung remarks, his tone sounding like he's disappointed. I guess you're right. I don't know, but those words break my heart. I already knew he didn't care, but it still hurts. Tae leaves and I wrap myself in the cocoon of blankets. My next class is Wolf Studies. As some of you may know, mates, they are our wolf's other half, the person that we share our everything with. If your inner voice hasn't awakened, which is your wolf speaking to you, it won't be there to help you find out who is your mate. This is often the case for young omegas because if they haven't had their first hit, their wolf does not speak to them. But even so, many unawakened omegas can still feel the connection despite that and will usually choose to spend their first hit with the alpha of their choosing. And in conclusion, mates will ultimately bond, marking each other. They will be able to sense each other's emotions. But this is not to say that unbonded mates cannot feel each other's distress. It is possible to feel it through protective instinct. But I am not listening anymore. If Taehyung were my mate and even unbonded mates can feel each other's distress, would that mean he came that early morning on Saturday because he felt my distress over the nightmare? No, it's silly. And I know that can't be the case. And anyways, alphas can sense usually when something is wrong. I don't even like Taehyung. When I came home, I saw Taehyung at home. Namjoon was not there due to pack duties. Taehyung, you're bleeding, I gasped in horror. Thanks for telling me, I didn't know. Taehyung replied sarcastically. Oh Taehyung, it looks bad. We need to, hey, I'm fine, stop freaking out. He says in a stern tone. Are you really fine? I'm just worried for you, I say, gently looking up at him. His hard expression softens a bit. Well, don't be. I wouldn't be an alpha if something like this hurt me. Still, it looks bad. You should treat it. I plop down next to him and set the kids on the table, opening up to get the right supplies. Tae looks like he's given in, letting me pull his arm towards me. So, how did you get this? Had a run-in with a Dark Moon scout. But what I did to him was much worse than this. Tae smirks darkly. Eventually, I have to go upstairs and do my homework. After a while of not being able to concentrate, I decide I can't do my work on an empty stomach. I head to the kitchen and search around for the candies. I see the box on top of the fridge, which is pretty tall. I go grab a chair, stepping up on it as I reach for the box of sweets. Then I hear a clearing of throat behind me. Namjoon with his arms crossed, Taehyung at his side. No candy before dinner. I thought I told you to hide them well, Tae. Namjoon spoke. I thought putting them somewhere high was good enough. I didn't know Shortcake was gonna get a chair to make up for his lack of height. Taehyung shrugs. I'm not that short. I glare at Taehyung. Then they're both just looking at me and it dawns on me that I'm talking to two giant alphas and yes, I'm very much short to them. A little later, I'm chilling at my desk finishing up my homework when I hear a knock on my door. Come in! I came here to warn you about my brother coming over tonight. Tae spoke. Why would you need to warn me about that? Let's just say he's a suspicious type. And he is not too fond of Dark Moon. Not to mention he has a bad temper. So just keep your head down and let Namjoon or I do the talking, okay? Sounds like you and your brother have many things in common. I tease. Taehyung expressed his annoyance. You are lucky you're an Omega. I am not scared of you. I challenge. Because I know Taehyung won't harm me. But I was shocked when Taehyung came close to me and blocked me with his hands on either side of the table. Is that so? He says quietly, his face a few inches from mine. My face blushes at how close we are, surprising even myself when a pang of arousal courses through me at the scent of him. Why does he smell so freaking good? You won't hurt me. I won't. But I can do other things to you. What kind of things? Bad, dirty things. Taehyung is so close to me and not touching me. And oh, how I want him to touch me. I want his big hands on me. Oh God, I need to snap out of it. What am I even thinking right now? I don't want to admit how much this is turning me on. It's so embarrassing. The heat of his skin I can feel through his pants on my bare legs causes me to let out a small whimper, to which Taehyung responds with a growl. Cook, Taehyung, are you up there? Namjoon calls from downstairs. Startled, I abruptly push Taehyung away from me, making him take a few steps back. We stare at each other, me in shock from what just occurred, him still with that dark, hungry look in his eyes. Unable to handle my embarrassment, I ran downstairs to Namjoon. It's been days since I have seen Taehyung. He is busy with the pack duties and I shouldn't feel it, but I miss him a lot. Me and my friends, Jimin and J-Hope, decided to watch a game tonight. We are busy with dressing and stuff. They both are Omegas like me. They are my besties from school. When we get there, I'm overwhelmed by the crowds. We manage to find a spot near the field, but it's near a group of loud alphas. Other than that, it's enjoyable at least. The game got over and I was on my way to home. I pulled my phone out to text Namjoon, but before that, something hard smacking against my head and my vision goes dark. When I woke up, I was inside a car at the parking area. What do you think you're doing? I shouted at the man who kidnapped me. What else do people do at abandoned parking lots at night? He smirks at me, eyes running down my body. No, you can't be serious. I shake my head, my eyes begging him to not have the intention he's implying. He laughs, reaching over for my face. Come on, don't look so scared. I'm gonna make you feel so good. I am frozen in shock, snapping out of it to realize he's going to kiss me. No, I can't let my first kiss be taken by him. With my one free hand, I go for his face, scratching it and beads of blood forming across his face. You little runt! He grabs me by the hair again, yanking my head up and slamming my face into the window so hard the glass cracks a bit. For a moment, my world goes dark. I feel blood running down my face, also tasting it in my mouth. I'm not going to be able to get out of this, am I? He's really going to rape me. The thought strikes me and it's so horrible I want to vomit. I sob as his hands go to my jeans to take them off, undoing the top button. This is it. But then I hear the noise of glass shattering, the car door being ripped off. The man was violently pulled off me and dragged out of the car. I watch in shock as he is thrown to the ground. A familiar figure stood upon him. Taehyung rains punch after punch down on the man, beating him to pulp until his face is unrecognizable from all the blood that covers it. Taehyung, I cry out for him, tears streaming down my face. At that he stops and looks at me. Our eyes lock and I realize how disgusting I must look with my clothes all messed up and blood running down my face. Embarrassed, I pull my shirt down and button up my jeans with shaky hands. His eyes softened and then he came forward to take me into his arms. I expect to hate it, to hate someone touching me after that man did. but all I feel is relief. I cling to him desperately as I sob into his chest. With his arms around me, I finally feel safe. Even when I thought no one would come, Taehyung came for me. When I woke up, I was at the hospital. A few minutes later, the door is pulled open. The very alpha I longed to see standing in the doorway. I heard you walk up. Can I come in? I nod quietly, my stomach flipping nervously. I take in Taehyung's appearance. He hasn't shaved. His eyes looks bloodshot with dark circles under them. And when it dawns on me that it's all because of me, I don't know how to believe it. How do you feel? I'm fine. You don't need to pretend for me. Do I look that bad? You know that's not what I mean. Taehyung looks so exhausted. My heart aches for him. Cautiously, I take a risk. I pat my lap, inviting him to rest there. You must be tired. He looks conflicted for a moment, and I'm not expecting him to take my offer. But then I see a part of him giving in, and he leads down, laying his head on my thighs. I'm frozen for a moment, shocked, not because I dislike the feeling, but because my skin tingles with delight at the contact. We stay like that for a long time. Tonight I'm going to Taehyung's place. To be honest, I'm really nervous. It's my first time sleeping over at an alpha's house. Taehyung leads me to his pack house. It's definitely not what I expected. It's not a large space. Then he leads us to his bedroom. It's also kind of messy, which I don't point out because Tae said he tried to clean it up for me. I felt special that he did it for my sake. Well, this is it. I gotta use the restroom. Feel free to look around. Will do. I pick up a doll from the table and it slips from my fingers, falling to the floor and rolling under the desk. I bend down trying to get it out before Tae comes back. Of course, the door opens just as I reach under the desk. Damn, shortcake! Taehyung? I flush in my compromising position, realizing my is up and must be on full display for him in these shots. Don't look! Sure, you're not doing it, so I do look. I'm just trying to get something, pervert. Okay, go on, I'll watch. This man. We are sitting on Tae's bed watching TV, me on his lap and my head resting against his chest. But then I get an itch on my inner thigh. It's uncomfortable and I really wanted to itch it. But isn't it awkward to scratch near your thingy in someone's company? I try to shift my legs a bit, hoping the fabric of my shorts will rub on it. Then I feel Taehyung's breath on my neck. Stop doing that. My eyes widen when I realize I made him hard down there. I move again, grinding myself against him purposely this time. Cook? What? I'm trying to hold back right now. And you're testing me? Why do you have to hold back? Because you're so damn innocent. I don't want to be innocent anymore. Do you know what that means? Yes. And then Taehyung kissed me. Our first kiss, which was soft and melting at first, soon turned into a heated one. I wake up boiling hot, feeling restless after dreaming about Taehyung doing unspeakable things to me. I came to school, though I was not feeling well. Are you sick? Your face is flushed. I don't think so. If anything, I'm feeling super freaking horny. But it's not like I can tell him that. You sure seem like it. You also kinda smell. I smell? Is that bad? Not bad at all, no. Did you put on some kind of perfume? I glance around and notice a couple of alphas are looking at me, a strange light in their eyes. I don't know what you're talking about. Cook, what's wrong? I'm feeling so hot. Oh God! What? He's in heat. In heat? Why did he come to school? You don't understand. He has never had it before. He's attracting too much attention. Let me take him to my car. I can drive him home. Cook, I can't believe you walking into a school full of alphas when you're in heat. You're so defenseless sometimes, especially when Taehyung's not there to protect you. Tete? Yeah, very cute. I have to get out. What? We are in the middle of the road. I can smell him. I need to go to him. Cook, no! I transform into my wolf and jump out of the car window to the woods. He's near. I smell him. And then I come upon him. I realize this is where we first met. Mate! My wolf howls at the sight of him. I freeze, realizing Taehyung is my mate, mine and no one else's. When we first met, I couldn't bring myself to reveal my true form out of fear. But it's different now, because he's my mate, the one I love, and I have nothing to hide from him anymore. So I let myself shift back into human form. My clothes are long gone, having ripped off when I transformed. I stand before him with my naked body. Taehyung looks at me, his dark eyes glittering. You're beautiful. This whole time, did you know? Yes. You knew? Why didn't you tell me? At first, I was scared. The knowledge that you, this fragile little Omega, were my mate unsettled me. But when I saw you injured, I was no longer in control. I realized I need to protect you no matter what. You came first before anything. Never felt this happy in my entire life. I got my mate Taehyung, who loves me more than anything. I want you. Hell, I wanted you since I first saw you. So why all this time? I saw how much you were hurting inside, Cook, going through so much change all at once. So once I realized how I felt, I waited for you to be ready. He's right. He never forced me into anything. He asked me every time we got intimate if I wanted it. And I do. I want him so much. Taehyung, I already chose you a long time ago. Come to me. Then I run to him and he takes me into his arms, melting together into a kiss that means everything. He brushes my hair back, planting a kiss on my forehead. My mate. Yours. We are both naked on his bed. You're so soft. Tae gropes my meat in his hands, giving it a squeeze. I have been waiting to do that. You could have done it. Does that mean I have your permission to grab this tight meat whenever I want it? Not whenever. Taehyung, don't look at me there. You're naked, baby. How can I not look when every part of you is so damn perfect? So you walked around all day this horny? Let everyone see you when you look like this? What do I look like? Like you wanted to be. Can I do this? Yes, I want you to. A warm feeling spread in my core, evidence of him deflowering me. We are both panting, breathing hard as we stare into each other's eyes. Still can't believe it that I get to have you. We are mates. My wolf hums with content, satisfied at the feeling of being showered in his attention. Like that, I became his, he became mine. Army, thank you for watching. Please subscribe.